Hey y'all,
Welcome to Shat Chat.
a Divorce Kid podcast.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Hannah.
And we are Divorce Kids. Welcome back, everybody.
Season 2, episode 2.
Oh, indeed.
Hot dog.
Wow. How are you
I
enjoying
know.
this spring weather?
It's so nice.
Thank God.
Thank fucking God.
Over it.
Although this morning it was 34 degrees out. It was so cold.
It was a little chilly.
But that's okay. I did fully tan in a swimsuit twice this last week on my lunch break.
Oh my God.
And it was pretty good.
That's how life should be in February.
No, literally. I'm so over the cold.
I feel like in Oregon, the snowbird destination is usually California, Palm Springs, or elsewhere. But here, it seems to be Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just the East Coast version of Southern California, I guess.
Definitely.
Which
Yeah.
do you prefer?
Well, it's nice because Florida has the beaches and I like being sand and water. And I know California does too, LA area,
It's not really as nice though.
Yeah. But Palm Springs is great. And you're going to be in a pool, I don't know.
Do you like a tropical beach more than a desert with a pool?
Yeah, because it's more
That's
activities. I love to swim in the ocean and to play in the sand.
That is really fair.
Yeah. Although I don't love to be wet and sandy. That's a kind of annoying.
You're preaching to the choir.
I know you hate water. So
yeah. Well, then also how do you do the rest of your day? Do you bring a full change of clothes, or you just have your wet bathing suit underneath your t-shirt and have wet boob marks?
yeah, I'm usually okay with that. Or I'll just take it off
Oh, true.
and just wear the shirt.
True.
Yeah.
I feel like nothing feels better. Okay, imagine this. You've spent the day at the beach.
Right.
You're wet, your hair is wet, your bathing suit's starting to get a little cold on you. And then you go back to your car to change, and there's a hoodie. And the sun, the sun has been baking your car, so all your stuff is really warm. And you take your wet swimsuit off, and you put that fucking hoodie on. Oh,
I don't know if there's anything better. Actually.
maybe a sandwich with chips in it after you've swim.
Shit.
But other than that warm sun-baked hoodie from the car,
I'm thinking about it right now.
it feels so good.
Damn, I want that.
Your skin's kind of cold and sticky, and then you put that warm cotton hoodie on.
And you're maybe a little burned sun kiss, so it's you're already a little cold because you know how you get kind of cold after
We need to recreate that this summer.
Please.
Wow.
I need that right now, actually.
But yeah, the chips in the sandwich after the pool birthday party.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that for sure. But I'm really thinking about that warm hoodie.
Yeah.
It feels like it just came out of the dryer,
Oh, do you ever throw your little towel in the dryer before a shower?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of nice.
It's real nice. I need to get a towel warmer.
Yeah. I see them more and more, the kind that look like a little barrel. I feel like everyone on TikTok has this, but we grew up with the bar one. But I like the little...
The barrel looks nice because the whole thing gets warm. I feel like sometimes the one that goes over the metal bar, it's only certain parts of it actually heat up.
No, you're right.
So next purchase.
The barrel could be nice.
Might be that.
And people put their robes in there too. That's another level of luxury.
I gotta put my robe in there. I gotta do that.
Do you have a winter and a summer robe?
I do have 2 different robes.
Yeah.
And I do interchange them. But not necessarily based on season. I have a really long Pottery Barn towel one that Mal gave me for Christmas one year that I love. And then I have an UGG fleece one. They're whatever that kind of Sherpa-y fleece one. That's kind of nice.
So you don't have a hot weather one?
I guess not really.
Because I have, in the summer, I have a floral, came, you know the one.
FabFitFun.
Came in a FabFitFun box.
I love that one.
It's kimono style, it goes to your knees, and that's when it's warm. And then I have my flannel LL Bean, or maybe just Pottery Barn. It's green.
Love that one. The
tartan flannel, and that's full length. But honestly, I kind of want a thick.
The towel one?
A thick, cozy one.
Yeah.
Towel or Sherpa, but the idea of wet skin on Sherpa makes me cringe.
I always completely dry off before I put...
Yeah.
Oh, actually, before I put either of them on, but specifically the Sherpa one. And that one only goes to right below the knee.
Okay.
So I guess it's kind of a summer one, but not really. No, it's not. It's warm. It keeps me warm.
Love a robe. Because sometimes you want to get ready and you're like, usually when I'm getting ready, I don't know what my outfit is yet.
Right.
But I don't want the towel wrapped around. I don't want to be just...
It never stays. I have never been able to make a towel stay.
I don't know. I just don't even know.
I don't know how to do it. Does anybody have a tutorial for me? Will you let me know, please?
Help a girl out.
Come on now. Wow. A warm robe, huh?
Warm robe, warm towel, warm hoodie. Nothing like it.
Nothing better. Speaking of hoodies, what are you wearing today?
Oh, I'm repping the family business today.
Yeah, she is.
Isn't it fun to be part of a family business?
I love it.
We've both done some paid work for our family business.
And we have.
To be fair. Today I'm wearing the black OG Oregon Homeworks hoodie.
Incredible.
Has there even been other merch that's come out?
I don't think since that.
Well, you know.
Tompi, do you need some more merch?
Wait, didn't we have beanies at one point?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, we need to revisit this.
Okay, great.
This weekend.
Fantastic.
We'll all be together, so.
Yeah, perfect.
I have business plan for Tompi.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, black hoodie with the Oregon Homeworks logo. I am wearing some Nike running. These are like their like slightly elevated running pant that has like a bit more features on it. I don't know what they are. Ones. Like Nike One, perhaps.
Sure.
The sock situation's not great. We'll just be honest. I feel with a 7/8 length, you're not meant to do a crew.
No.
But sometimes 7/8 is long enough that I can cover it and it doesn't look stupid. But today it looks stupid. Bombas athletic socks, and my on tennis shoes. They're like the Roger Federer, like the court to clubhouse ones, where they're supposed to be like half and half street shoes and tennis shoes.
They look like it.
These ones, I just like the look of these. Of all the on shoes, I would say this is like my favorite style.
Oh yeah. I like those a lot, actually. They're
Thank
cool.
you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your hat?
Oh, Cabela's.
Perfect. I love it.
I've had this since college.
I love that hat.
There was like a student film I was working on that had like guns in it, and like we needed like some like shit from Cabela's for this movie. We weren't, not that we were using real guns. I don't know. There was like accessories to go with it, and
okay.
I went there and I was working as like on the like production team this time around, and like everyone on production team always wears like hats and stuff, and I really wanted a hat.
I love it.
Thank you. Cabela's.
Perfect.
That's enough about me. What are you wearing?
Today I'm wearing a pair of Nike Jordan Low ones, or however you're supposed to say that, whatever.
Jordan Lows, yeah.
Yeah. They're like black and brown. They're actually from the kids section, and my brother has the same ones.
These are kids. Love that.
And he influenced me to get these ones. So that's that. And then I'm wearing a brown Empathy sweat set from the Mayfair group. From the Mayfair group.
It's really chocolatey brown.
I love it. It's nice. I'm enjoying this black on brown moment that's like seems to be making a comeback.
Oh.
Kind of. It's kind of fun.
Why do you have one sleeve cuffed and not the other?
I didn't mean to do that. I like to cuff both of them, actually.
Too long for you?
Yeah.
You don't like a little Ariana Grande?
I sometimes do, but when I'm like working or like anything, I just like it when they're cuffed. And also sometimes you can like double cuff it.
Okay, so that I like. That I don't like. That
Okay.
That I like.
This is kind of fun. I feel like it kind of elevates the sweat set a little bit.
It gives it a little shape.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like a roll. It's like when you roll down the pants.
And I also do that with these. They are a little long. But yeah, shout out to the Mayfair group. It's like my favorite sweat set company. Shout out to Mal for the rec. Long time user, long time recommendation of the Mayfair group.
We love it.
Yeah. And that's what I've got on today.
Fabuloso.
Yes. Well, today, I don't really have a good segue.
Go for it.
But today we're talking about sort of the feeling of kids hoping for their parents to reconcile and why might they be feeling that way. I think there's a lot of different reasons, but I think a big one is society and like TV shows, movies, books that kids read, and like even young adults and whoever it might be. They just feel like, you know what, this is what is written as like the perfect romance, and like my parents aren't supposed to get divorced, and like it says in the books that like you're supposed to fall in love and like get married and have kids, and you know you're supposed to be a happy family for the rest of your life, but that's not always the case. But because of society kind of painting that picture always, I think that even in like the season of like your parents getting divorced, you're still hoping in the back of your mind that maybe your parents are going to reconcile.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly thought that the first time that my parents were like, hey, we're getting separated, when I was in like 6th grade. I was like, oh shit. And then when they like decided not to, which I know I've talked about before,
you were like, yes,
I know.
I knew it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, there's still hope that they won't be getting divorced. And then obviously that wasn't the case, but like even for me as like a 6th grader who probably had just seen like She's the Man or something, and I was like, cute rom-com, they fell in love even though they like broke up, but they got back together. You also love
The Parent Trap.
I do love The Parent Trap, and that's a movie where they like literally separate when the kids are born, and then they end up getting back together.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry guys, if you haven't
seen been out for
if you haven't seen The Parent Trap,
20 years.
I don't know what you're doing.
30 years.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I just feel like it's this like whole thing that like just kids are just like really wanting, which makes sense because like I didn't want to admit it to myself that like my parents were like getting divorced or were divorced. It took me a long time to like actually cope with it and come to terms with it. And then obviously it had been like a year at that point, and I'm like, oh shit, they're really divorced, huh? And they're really not getting back together, huh? All right.
For real, for real?
For real, for real.
It's permanent.
I guess so.
I mean, I think, too, you just always want what's familiar.
Right.
And you don't... Yeah, no matter what. Like, it's like that. I feel like we've talked about this in other episodes, but it's just like a natural psychological thing where even if the thing that's familiar is bad for you or just a bad situation, you will always take that. It's like having like bad dating patterns. Even though you're like, I know this is bad for me, but you're doing it because it's familiar and you'll just keep doing it.
Totally.
So it's like, even if maybe your parents fight a lot, the idea of at least you know what that is and like what to expect and how to handle that. It's like predictable. You'd rather take that and have everyone stay together even if everyone's a little bit unhappy than brave the new reality of like
a broken family,
living between 2 houses, maybe having to move, like having to make all new friends, being a new kid at a new school, like your parents dating new people, whole family structure rearranged, holidays look different. All of that is way scarier than like being at home and your parents fighting a few times.
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually couldn't imagine if for some reason when my parents got divorced, if we had to like move to different schools. That would have been a whole new beast.
Yeah, you and I are very lucky that basically nothing changed. You stayed living in the same house, going to the same school.
Right.
Me too, more or less.
Right, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, some people fully like have to pack up, move across the country, be the new kid, like lose everything that they've known. Like
way more starting over than we ever had to tackle.
I would say too, just the idea of like reconciliation. I felt that a lot, even like when my parents were still married, but when they would fight, you just always have this like, I feel like as a kid I would just like sit in my room and wish like that they would stop fighting or that they would like everything would go back to normal. Yeah. And so even like not just when they're actually separating that you wish they'll get back together, but as a kid, anytime you hear your parents fight.
Totally.
You're always like,
I feel like any fight I've ever been in, like with anybody, whether it be like a friend or like a coworker or whoever it is, I'm like, wow, damn, I really wish we weren't fighting right now. And like things would just like go back to normal. Because it doesn't feel good to have like a riff in like a friendship or like a relationship or anything. So when it's like your own parents that you look up to, it's pretty tough when you're like, damn, why are you doing that?
Please stop.
Yeah.
Did you have any behaviors or thoughts of like, okay, if I'm really good, it will help fix this or make this not happen?
I never felt like it was anything to do with me.
That's good. That's really healthy.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't ever think it was like my fault.
How come?
Because I'm not the one in the relationship.
And they never made it about you, I guess.
No.
Or you didn't feel like, oh, it's a strain of having 2 kids.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like kind of I'm like, oh shit, like I guess maybe if I wasn't doing gymnastics and like they spent so much time apart, maybe things would be better. But I just feel like...
But they both worked full time, so it wasn't like...
Yeah, but I'm like, you guys, like it's your relationship. I'm not in your...
How did you have that maturity as a child?
I don't know. It was just like... This isn't about me.
Yeah.
You are affecting me and what your choices are. But this like divorce isn't about me.
Yeah.
It's about two people who obviously shouldn't be together anymore. And as shitty as that is, and as much as I didn't want to admit it at the end of the day, like that's what the issue was.
Yeah. No, I guess I did. When Tompi and my mom got divorced. Yeah. And also I was like 15. So I was like, this ain't about me.
I know. I'm like, I have so much other shit to worry about right now.
Yeah.
Like,
it was more of an inconvenience.
No, literally.
That was like my main reaction was like, y'all couldn't have fucking waited to do this at a more convenient time for everyone.
I know. I'm like, do you not understand what you're making me do? I have to go between your two houses. Whatever the freaking schedule is, God forbid I forget something, and then somebody has to bring it, and I have to pack up. I have to do this. It was all like me statements because it's true. You guys are staying in your homes.
Tough. Yeah, I remember really feeling like it was so trivial to be like, oh, you're not happy in your like romantic relationships. You need to blow up the entire family structure for 3 children. 2 of whom are already going between 2 houses because you guys can't fucking figure out.
No, literally.
Sorry to my parents listening to this.
No,
but that's how we felt at 15.
No, yeah, it was
you
like,
don't love each other anymore. No, I have to go between 3 houses, and I'm 15 years old.
Yeah, I don't even have my driver's license.
Oh my god.
I didn't even get mine until I was 18, so it didn't really matter for me. And I was a passenger princess, and I still am, kind of.
Yeah, no, I definitely in my angstiness.
Yeah, I was just feeling like too, like I'm like I have so many other things to focus on right now, like gymnastics and schoolwork.
I'm too busy for this. I don't have time for
who's gonna ask
right
me
now.
to homecoming and like whatever else might be like in this like pot of things to like worry about like whether or not it was my fault that they got divorced. You're gonna sit here and tell me it was my fault that you guys don't love each other anymore? Yeah, fucking right. Try again.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about that.
I don't have room to pencil in a divorce in my busy schedule right now.
Not this year.
Good luck to you guys.
Yeah, see y'all later.
Let me know where I'll be sleeping tonight.
Mm-hmm. Who's picking me up later?
Yeah, someone just sent me a memo.
Mm-hmm. You sent me a calendar invite, please. Thank you so much.
Oh my god.
No, I'm kidding. Did you ever feel like though, maybe if your parents had some sort of like nice interaction, that you were like, oh, are they gonna get back together? Or was that never the case?
I'm not sure if there was such a moment.
Right.
After the divorce.
I don't feel like that either. But I feel...
Well, the funny thing is, I don't know if they went to couples counseling before or during their divorce, but they did after, if I'm remembering everything correctly, because they were having a hard time co-parenting, I think, as divorcees.
Yeah.
So they were going to therapy then. But no, I think it was pretty clear. Also, I think it started to become like glaringly obvious to me. I think too because the main house that I grew up with them as a child, we had moved out of that house and we were doing a bunch of rentals while Tompi was building his first home.
Right.
And so it was like there was already some like disruption.
Yeah.
So we were kind of like going between these rentals. We were working on building this house. He was traveling a lot. He was like, you know, I don't know. There was just like a lot was moving around already. Mm-hmm. And so the like loss, like I correlate to us leaving my childhood home as like almost that was like the end of my happy family structure.
Okay.
And then it just kind of seemed like in the year and a half that we were in the rentals, that's also when the divorce happened. So it kind of was like I already said goodbye to the familiar childhood structure. And so when they got divorced, I kind of was like, I already said goodbye to what was familiar to me. Yeah, totally. In a way. So no, there wasn't really a time where I was like, maybe we'll still go back to that because I was like, there's nothing to go back to.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. I often thought if we never moved out of that house, all of this would have never happened.
Interesting.
And I did try to tell Tompi that.
Did you?
When he announced at our old house that we were moving and going to build a house together, I was like, this is a really bad idea. We're happy here. Things are good here. Mm-hmm. Familiar for everybody.
Right.
We've got a good thing going.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Why are you making a riff?
Me at 13. Mm-hmm. Tompi at 40
something.
3. Mm-hmm. What do you think you're doing?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You have a good thing going here. Mm-hmm. I recommend that you don't fuck it up.
just your casual recommendation from a 13-year-old.
Look, I've been in this position before.
Yeah. Coming from experience.
I know how hard it can be. Yeah. Stick it out.
Come on now. I'm your future self. Stick it out.
Was there a moment where you were like,
Nope.
Okay.
Not a single one.
I don't think that exists.
I don't know. I think that there are definitely parents that come back together for some reason and maybe are like, oh my God, like I fucked up and like I do still love you and like we should work on this, etc. But I don't think that's an often like a thing that happens that often.
It's probably healthier for us that it was a clean break.
I think so too. I think that's like kind of the best case in any relationship.
Because imagine being in an on and off again relationship and you have a kid.
Yeah.
It's already confusing to be a person in an on and off thing.
Totally. Yeah. Any relationship, I feel like if you're going to break up, like just fucking break up. Like,
yeah.
And like, I mean, yes, obviously there's like history with like an actual divorce because you have kids and like you've been married for 10 plus years or however long. So it's like a lot more to like sever, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, might as well be a clean break. Like, why are you coming back together? And why are you giving your kids false hope? That's like not very nice.
Yeah.
Especially as kids that are maybe younger, like 10, 11, 12, that like can see their parents like maybe being really cordial or whatever, which is obviously nice to see, but you don't want to give them false hope because that's not fair.
Yeah. And also we've talked about this before, the like united front the parents need to be for the family structure to function well. Yeah. And the second kids get a whiff of like, oh, this is inconsistent here, you kind of lose a lot of your like legitimacy as like a parental unit when the kids are like,
something's going on here.
Yeah.
It's a little fishy.
I don't really need to listen to you.
Yeah. 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 I don't know. I feel like maybe that's not necessarily always an option. It's like a Cinderella story type situation. But like, I couldn't imagine, honestly, if my parents ever got back together.
That's the funny thing. I feel like every divorce kid I know, I mean, literally any of the friends I can imagine, or Philippe as well, I cannot imagine any of those men and women being married.
Yeah. No.
And even like seeing I mean, I guess it helps when you see photos of them from like back in the day. But I wonder if it's almost like it's proof that the divorce was important because then they went and grew so much in such opposite directions and are such different people today that it's unthinkable they were ever together. And it's just like goes to show sometimes in a moment you can be each other's right person, but then your destinies are just not
aligned at all.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I cannot imagine your parents.
No, I can't imagine them back together either. I feel like my mom with Chompy is like the perfect fit for her,
but
and
also,
vice versa.
Could they have been the perfect fit in 1990?
No, absolutely not. My mom was like, I don't want a small town guy. I don't want anybody from like close to my hometown. I want a big city boy, whatever it is. I'm like, and look at you, full circle moment. You came back to the small town boy, huh? Nice.
I'm happy for her.
But I get it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like too, like using any sort of like hope in your parents getting back together, I think often leads to like a painful coping mechanism rather than a like positive one. Because
you're just like, you're letting yourself live in a future reality that may or may not.
Yeah.
It's like how they say don't date the future version of your partner. You need to be honest with yourself and date exactly who they are right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a similar.
Totally. Yeah. I think often like hoping for something is not always the best thing.
No. I feel like you're very good in being rooted in seeing things as they are.
Yeah.
And be like, we can only handle what's literally happening.
Yeah, like right now.
What we hope will happen.
Yeah. And sure, I catch myself all the time, like, well, not all the time, but often just like daydreaming or like hoping for things just because it's normal.
I love to fantasize.
Yeah. But I feel like for a relationship, that's pretty tough because you can't like wish or like will somebody into being the version you want.
No.
So I feel like that's kind of tough.
Letting go of control over other people.
Isn't that so, huh?
That is so.
Wow.
We can only control ourselves.
We can, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
No, it is fortunate. It really is fortunate. It would be way too much responsibility.
Yeah.
And then you would just punish yourself if you knew like, oh, if only I had done more, that could have if I had just said this thing or done this thing, that would have been enough. But we have to understand, good or bad.
Yeah.
You really don't have that much control over other people.
Yeah.
Just yourself.
Just yourself, really. But yeah.
I'm glad our parents are where they're at now.
Me too.
It's also a hard thing.
It's really hard. I'm glad they both like grew in their own ways that were like beneficial for them, and like led them to where they are today. I think, you know, however long it's been, I don't even know. What am I?
Like 13 years.
Yeah. I think they've both
That's crazy.
Yeah. They've both done like a lot of growing. And
whoa, Hannah, that means they've almost been separated from their spouses as long as they were with their spouses.
And that's wild.
Which is crazy because in my mind, I'm like, the majority of Tompy's whole life was his marriage with my mom. But that's only because I only have known him.
Right.
And for him, that was just a chapter of his life.
Yeah.
Life is very, very long.
It's so crazy to me that you can have like certain people that play like a specific role or whatever it is for only a certain part of your life, and then you like let them go.
It's heartbreaking to me, but it's also beautiful.
Truly. Yeah.
Life is just so, there's so much more room for things to happen than we think about. Because you're like, that's just, I don't know, I don't have anything good to say about that, but
yeah, it's like, I mean, you said it the other day that like heartbreak is the most like painful thing humans can experience.
Yeah.
And it's true. In so many different forms, whether it be like relationships or like losing like something that you like love, like having to give up a sport or whatever it might be. Like there's so many different versions of heartbreak that are so painful. Yeah.
Having it be done to you involuntarily, having to choose it for yourself when you know it's no longer the right thing, simply falling out of love with something.
Yeah.
Like we never know what the timeline will be on something when we begin it, but I don't think that's ever a reason to not show up fully for it.
Yeah.
Like, because who knows? It could be
the best thing ever.
It could be the best thing ever. And also, not to be morbid, but like none of us know how long we're going to be here. I don't want to look back on my life and see myself only showing up part way.
Yeah.
And not investing myself fully in things because of the fear of like, well, this could just be a temporary thing that I have. I'd rather just have like fully given myself to everything and then just accepted the heartbreak. But yeah.
No, I hear you. I feel the same way.
I am grateful that our parents were strong enough to make the hard decision to like end their marriages, even if it put their kids through difficult times.
Honestly, that's such like a brave act.
It is
to do, to break up a whole entire family. But at the end of the day, obviously it ended up being better for all parties involved.
No, really.
But like you don't know that.
And some people never do. Some people just like stick out. I mean, I like my grandparents who are very religious. It's like you just don't get divorced. Yeah. I mean, in the Philippines, you literally can't get divorced. There's no way to do it. Also because like Catholicism is so in the culture. So like people just stay married even if they're miserable, not happy.
Yeah, and that's like so shitty.
And I feel like it really prevents people from living their full life, their fully realized versions of themselves. And like
for sure,
Tompi and your mom, they had, you know, wonderful 15 years of being in like their initial family structures, having children, experiencing what that's like to get married and move into a home with somebody and have babies and raise them together. And they also get experience now like having adult kids that they go on trips with. And
yeah, totally. I know, I feel like I'm sure a part of them wishes that they were like ready for each other, you know, and spent more time, even like more time together than what they're getting now. But like we said before, I don't think that either of them were at a place to be in the relationship that they are now back then. Yeah. So
they probably had to go through those to get to a place where then each other now was like exactly what they
needed. Yeah.
But I really, every time I have one of those experiences where I'm like, the only reason, like my job I have now, I'm like, I would have loved to get this 6 months ago, but I would have only been seeking out this kind of job once I was fed up with the other thing I was doing.
Right.
But I didn't, I had to go through that experience.
Yeah.
And again, it sucks that we have to like go through painful shit, but
I know.
such is life.
Such is life. Yeah, honestly, we had to go through the painfulness of like divorce to end up where we are now together.
And thank God.
Hosting a podcast.
Thank God.
I know, for real. Freaking crazy.
I would have never had a sister my whole life.
I know, my whole life.
I cannot imagine that.
I can't imagine either. Yeah. Anybody that ever asks, they're like, oh, how do you have siblings? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm one of 5. And they're like, whoa.
How fun is that?
Yeah. I'm like, it's a fucking blast. Okay.
It really is.
It's the best time.
I love having a big Brady Bunch family.
Me too. It's so fun. Love you.
Love you. Love you, sis.
Yeah. Right.
right. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Wow. Thank you for the topic today.
You're welcome.
It was really lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, my main thing that I would like to hear from people is if you had any like secret mental thing that you were like, okay, if I do this and they'll stay together, because I feel like kids like have a way of.
Yeah, totally.
Or some people have that, like if like a grandparent was sick when you were a kid, you're like, okay, if I pick like 10 flowers from the backyard today, then like grandma will be okay. So yeah, if you had something like that, or a wish about reconciliation, or if you saw a movie like Parent Trap that really got in your head about like, oh my God, it's possible, anything can happen. Yeah, that was really impactful. I'd love to hear about it. You can drop us a comment. We're on Instagram at Shat Chat Pod.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast Shat Chat. We are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and wherever else you listen to podcasts, and we will see you in 2 Tuesdays.
Yes, we will.
Bye.